Off the block, it's out, and Purdue will take it.
Colvin on the slide. What a better way to end this one on senior night.
Spectacular crowd inside Mackey Arena. Colvin puts an end to the first set.
How sweet it is! The Purdue Boilermakers punch their ticket to the Sweet 16.
Is down. History for Dave Shondell.
Welcome back to the Big City Podcast. I'm Cory Palm. He's Dave Shondell, and we are brought to you by Franciscan Health, the official medical provider of Purdue Athletics. Coach, pretty nice weekend for the Boilermakers down in Tennessee. Let's jump right into it.
Yeah.
We'll start with Friday's game against South Florida. Started off real strong, got a little wobbly in the middle it seemed, but the team certainly finished exactly how you want them to.
Yeah, it seems like that was 2 weeks ago. But it was
Boy.
actually, just last Friday?
Yeah, you've had an
it was 3 days
action-packed
ago.
few days.
First of all, South Florida's really good. People will find that out. They've scheduled too tough, in my opinion. Not only did they play Tennessee at Tennessee 4 hours after they played Purdue at Tennessee, they're also going to play Minnesota. They're going to play Florida. They're going to play Creighton. They're going to play Dayton. I mean, they're really playing a strong schedule. And I think sometimes schools from conferences that are not Power 4 or Autonomy 4 conferences now, they realize that they've got to go out and play good competition because they may not see enough of that in their league. And South Florida's got great talent. And I was really pleased that we won the match. In theory, we could have won it in 3. We were up 23-20 in the first and found a way to get beat 25-20. And that was discouraging. And when you have a new team and you're early in the season, you just don't really know what might happen. But I wasn't expecting that. But fortunately, we bounced back and played really well in the next 2 and won those, I think, both 25-17, it seems like. And we had a big lead in the 4th. And we let that get away, but then we pretty much controlled the 5th set and won that rather handily. And I thought we played well. I mean, their numbers were good. We out-hit South Florida by 100 points. Our ball control was good. I thought our team handled themselves well in an environment where you're playing in a building that holds 21,000 plus.
The place is huge.
And there's 50 people there
Right.
watching 2 teams from other parts of the country play each other. But that's just the way it had to be. So I was really happy with the way that finished up, and I thought Akasha Anderson had a tremendous match for us, and did a lot of good things, especially down the stretch. Our setting was good, our ball control, as I mentioned, was good, and it was just nice to get that win to start the season.
It was interesting. I was following along from here via live stats because there was no live stream, unfortunately. Right. Listening a little bit on the radio, but you're right. I kind of tuned out in the 4th set because I'm like, we got this one in hand.
Yeah.
Turned it around, and like you said, but statistically, the story of the match didn't really match up with the stats. You guys played really clean, really good attack numbers kind of across the board, and not usually numbers that you see from a match that appears more tight than it might be.
I just think early in the season, teams can give up runs of points, and we gave up some runs in some rotations that obviously you need to work on everything. So, but it still was a good way to get the season started in Knoxville, and we got on the bus and drove to Nashville right after that, and went into the next step.
Yep, absolutely. So I was curious about that. Hopped on the bus, drove a couple hours to Nashville. Didn't hang around and watch the
Stopped
Tennessee
at
match.
Buc-ee's.
Stopped at Buc-ee's.
We did stop at Buc-ee's on the way, which was kind of a fun experience. I've been before, but some of our players had never seen that before, and they had just a great time. We were there for probably 30 minutes.
Yeah.
At least, probably more than that. It was supposed to be 30 minutes, but I think we were there a little longer. But when you win a match, you can do some things like that. If you lose a match, maybe not as much.
Yeah.
Okay, that we're going to stop at Buc-ee's. But we did, and then we got into Nashville and gave people opportunity to explore Broadway a little bit on that day. We watched some film, and then got a little more serious about things the next day. But a great opportunity to play down in Bridgestone Arena. The first match on that Sunday was Nebraska and Kentucky, and they had almost 14,000 people in that arena, and most of them stayed for the second set. Nebraska's fans are very faithful to the sport, and even though I'm sure Broadway was calling their name, Tootie's and other places, most of them stuck around to watch the Big Ten, another Big Ten brethren play against a good Tennessee, kind of the host school, if you will. But that was a match I did not know for sure which way it would go. Not that I don't have great confidence in my team. Yeah. It's just so early in the season, and Tennessee is flat loaded with talent.
They're very good.
Not only did they have a lot of great players returning, they went to the portal and got some unbelievable athletes. And I think they're probably trying to figure out right now, of all those great players they got, who's going to play. And because they were going back and forth between a couple different systems and a lot of different players, and we pretty much had things in order on our side of the net as far as what we wanted to do. And I thought that had a little bit to do with how the match went.
We've been in that situation before, in recent years where you've got so much talent and so many options.
Yeah.
It's waiting for who's going to rise,
Yeah.
who's going to take their opportunity. And we've seen teams that are approach the season that way, certainly in the non-conference. When you're in a top 4 SEC school and maybe you've got a slightly more top-heavy conference than like the Big Ten, you schedule a Big Ten team early on to challenge yourself to see what your team's going to do when the fire comes.
Well, I'm sure that, like us, we're all learning a lot right now, and we'll see how they go. But that's up to their staff and their people. I know that we learned an awful lot about who we were, and our first ball contact was terrific in that match against Tennessee, and it has to be because they're a good serving team. But I really thought Ryan McAleer was absolutely on top of her game. Her numbers were as good as we've had numbers from a libero in a long time. Passed at close to a 3.0, a high percentage of first ball contacts going right to the setter. Defensively, she was really, really good, was all over the floor, making one play after another. But the thing that Ryan also brings to our team is just this volume, the communication piece, the competitive piece that you want to have from your libero. So it was really great to have her bring that to the team. And again, Cash Anderson, another big match. Kenna Woolard is evolving into the kind of player that I thought that she would.
Yeah.
6 rotation player that can do everything right now for us, from passing to defending to serving tough to blocking to attacking, and now becoming a bigger presence on the floor. I thought Grace Heaney was good, but we haven't seen the Grace Heaney that we're going to see yet. I mean, I think she's about ready to open a can of you-know-what sooner than later. Again, I thought Taylor Anderson was playing with this freedom on the floor that we didn't see the last 2 years.
Okay.
So it's nice to see her kind of be more of who she is and be more offensive, be more aggressive from setting the ball. And all those things. I thought Julia Kane gave us a good match in the DS. What I didn't share about the match in Knoxville against South Florida was the difference maker was when we brought Sienna Foster and Rachel Williams off the bench as serving specialists. I didn't think we were getting enough from a couple of servers, and they came in and they just really tattooed the ball and made it really difficult. Not only that, they made defensive plays. Sienna Foster, I think it was in a crucial point down the stretch. We put her in the passing pattern. She passed a dime, and we ran our offense and got a kill and got out of rotation that we were struggling in. So just a great team effort for us to start the season. And you'd like to really just enjoy that for a long time, but we enjoyed it probably until we got back home, at least from my standpoint. And then we start watching Georgia Tech and Bowling Green and Kansas and thinking about what we're going to have to do to get ready to try to continue to have success on the floor.
Having that late Sunday afternoon time slot, so you're getting back Sunday night, flying back from Nashville, it shortens your week a little bit, and your first match in the Stacey Clark Classic, which will go in depth in the second half, is Wednesday. So you've got a quick turnaround, short week. It's good to be able to turn the focus that quickly.
When I first got to Purdue just a couple of years ago, 23 years ago actually, everything was Friday, Saturday.
Uh-huh.
Friday, Saturday, Friday, Saturday, Friday, Saturday. And then when crowds started to show up and TV started to get involved, and now you've got these tournaments that are dictating, when you're going to play, our schedule is so much different. We play on a Friday and a Sunday. Now we're playing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to stay off Saturday for football. And then next week we play on a Tuesday down in Hinkle, and then we play Saturday, Sunday in Lexington in a tournament that's a really good tournament against SMU and Houston. And then we come back and we've got the Mackey thing, which you said was a Thursday, Sunday.
Thursday, Sunday, yeah.
And then we get on a plane that following Tuesday and we fly to Southern California and we play on a Thursday, Saturday against UCLA and USC. It's going to be a really, really challenging month of September for us. And the month of August did pretty well, but we only played 2 matches.
Right.
Now we got a lot of work cut out for us. And as I mentioned earlier off the air, it's going to be a real indication of maturity for our team to prepare like professionals and practice like professionals to get through this thing. And that doesn't always happen in college athletics. So I think it's going to be who we are that makes the biggest difference on the success that we have during this month of September.
And because of that, it's so important, I would think when you're constructing your roster that you're looking for great players, of course, but high character kids, people who are going to come in and do the right thing, make the right choice.
You're always looking for that.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you know what you're getting. We've never recruited somebody that we didn't think was a great human being, a tremendous young woman. And we've been really, really high percentage on getting that. But the way the recruiting process is cut out, you don't know. We've talked about that before. I'm not going to get into that again. You have a better idea when you go on the portal because there's a bigger body of work from somebody who might have been playing college volleyball for 2 or 3 years, on who they are, and you can talk to more people about what they're, and they've grown up a lot during that time. So they're pretty much who they are. But our 5 transfers have been great. They've been great. The 5 incoming freshmen, off the chart. So those 10 new players that we do have been tremendous. But, again, adversity hasn't hit. We haven't had any real problems except that, I do want to get into the fact that we do have somebody that has been out, and we've got somebody that's going to be out for the season. I think it's about time that we probably address that probably in this show.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that when we come back from the break. We'll also preview the Stacey Clark Classic. Great teams coming in, a great field. A lot of awesome volleyball to watch in Holloway this week. Stick with us.
The Dig City Podcast is brought to you by Franciscan Health, the exclusive healthcare provider for Purdue Athletics. Franciscan, inspiring health, working for a better tomorrow. Go to franciscanhealth.org for more information. Now back to the show.
All right, Coach, a lot of players played really well over the weekend, including, you mentioned Kenna Woolard, 18 kills on Friday, 17 more on Sunday. Really coming into her own.
It's a good weekend.
Awesome to see. Sure is.
Yeah.
And she's also among the team leaders in digs, like you said, playing all the way around. Maybe there are a couple players that Purdue fans might have expected to see over the weekend and didn't. We've got a bit of an update.
Yeah, I'll talk about that just a little bit. Addie Tyndall, who I think a lot of people in the volleyball world anticipated her probably being maybe in the starting lineup or at least knocking on the door as a freshman. I thought she was one of the 10 or 15 best players in the country. Well, Addie came in with a knee issue. She's had to have some surgery, and because of that, Addie will not play this season. So it limits us a little bit, but that was an area we had some depth. You've got Kenna Woolard, you've got Akasha Anderson, you have Natalie Moravec. So we've got some players there, but 6'3" freshman Addie Tyndall will be out this year, and I hope our fans will wish her the very, very best. She was at home for about a week after her surgery. It was great to see her yesterday at practice. She's on crutches, and in about another week and a half, she'll be able to start walking.
Okay.
But she'll be fine, and she just had some work that had to be done because of some previous issue she had in that, I believe, the left knee. And then Bianca Lulich, who was playing well enough to start for us about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, got hit with an illness, and saw her for the first time in 2 weeks yesterday at practice. And so we went down really with it. We're trying to redshirt Morgan Williams, who is a freshman from Enterprise, Alabama. And so we got to a point where, with Bianca gone, we only had 2 middles. And then one of those was having a weird issue, a medical issue. And so we thought, man, we're going to be in real trouble going down there. But fortunately, that was not as serious as what it was initially feared. And that particular middle was able to play. And we went down with 2 middles, basically. We went down to play, and luckily they held up very, very well. And we're hoping that Bianca will be back sooner than later. She was at practice just doing a few things yesterday, but man, was she playing well before she got hit with that bug.
Yeah, you talked about her through camp. That stinks. Hopefully, quick recovery there. If you're going to be stuck with 2 middles, having experienced hands like Dior Charleston and Lindsey Miller is a good place to be.
Yeah, and they're so fundamentally sound in every aspect of the game. They can get better, and they've got to continue to be a little more dynamic, and they've got to demand the ball. We did not get them the ball nearly enough. I didn't think this past weekend, especially on Sunday. But the outsides all hit about 400, so it's okay not to get the middles of the ball if your left sides are going to carry the mail. But we got to spread the offense out a little bit more, and I think Taylor understands that. And again, she is being more assertive in how she runs the show, so I think that she'll get those middles into the fray.
That's exactly where you want your junior setter to be, right?
Yeah.
Feeling comfortable running the offense and making choices. We don't want to glaze over the offensive output. Fantastic. 379 attack percentage against Tennessee. The 3 sets you won, you were darn near 500 in your attack percentage. Just was the defensive front they were seeing? Was it just very efficient?
I think it was our first ball contact. It was McAleer and Kane and Woolard and Cash Anderson that were responsible for passing the ball to the setter where she could run the offense, and we were getting really good looks. I think part of it also, it's early in the season, so Tennessee still trying to figure out defensively, what they needed to do. When you prepare for Purdue, the first 2 matches of the season, what are you preparing for? Because we have a brand new group of players. So I think that they had an idea what they thought we might do, and then maybe we were doing some things a little bit different. I really don't know. But offensive numbers, I thought, to play in that large venue against a really good team, and I think Tennessee will finish in the top 4 in their conference. I think they're going to have a great year.
Yeah.
I really do. So for us to go 2-0 against 2 teams, one I think can win the American Conference, American Athletic Conference, and I think another one that will finish in the top 4 or 5 in an 18-team SEC. So a good start for us, but it does not get easier this week with the 3 teams that we're going to play here in the Stacey Clark Classic.
It sure doesn't. Georgia Tech coming in. That's your Wednesday opponent, then Bowling Green on Thursday and Kansas on Friday. We'll start with the Yellow Jackets. Top 25 squad coming in out of the ACC, among the favorites in that conference. I know they've been a really good club for a really long time.
Yeah, they've been a top 15, top 20 team for as long as I can remember. Really good staff down there. They recruit internationally and also good players from the United States, but they have a talented team. They went 3-0 in their first tournament. I think Ole Miss was probably the best team that they played. They went 4 with Ole Miss. Their home venue is a little bit like ours, actually smaller than ours, and they always play well there. They got off to a good start, and they went 3-0. They run a 2-setter offense, which is what we've seen a lot of so far. So that's kind of a positive. We don't have to reinvent the wheel from a defensive standpoint on what we're looking at. And but they've got good athletes, and 3 matches is not a lot to be able to evaluate a team on, but we're going to try. and be as well prepared for them. I like their right side offense. They've got a small middle that really lit things up recently. So we have to play really, really well this week to kind of keep this momentum rolling.
Sophia Velez, their libero, got ACC
Great player.
Defensive Player
She's
of the
really
Week.
impressive. Yeah. Not sure where she's from. She's another international player, not from Brazil. But you're going to find it for me. I know
am
real
right.
quick. But I know that they have a player on the left side, a freshman that we recruited from Metro that is from the same club that Isabel Barden is from, and she's a high flyer, and she gets the ball a lot. They've got a Brazilian on the left side opposite her that's really good. Again, two different setters, but good team with a great libero. We'll try to keep the ball away from her if we can.
Velez from Colombia. South
yeah.
America, but
Yeah.
different South America. And
Yeah.
Mimi Mambu, who you're referring
Yeah.
to, reigning ACC Freshman of the Week. So
Yeah.
a couple honors early for them. Night 2, you welcome in a mid-major, but
The Falcons.
also favorites in their league, Bowling Green.
Bowling Green has been here a couple of times, I know, in the last 7 or 8 years to play here. We always enjoy having them come in here. Their former head coach, who now is at University of Cincinnati, I remember her one year coming in here, and she was wearing what's the high heel called? Is it stiletto?
Stiletto, yeah.
Stiletto.
Very.
And I thought that looked fine until after the match we found out there were divots all across the Holloway gym floor from those heels. And I don't know if they're still there or not, but she's now at Cincinnati, so I'm not sure we'll schedule them or not. But no, great person and a great head coach. And but now she is at Cincinnati. This is the first year for their new coach. They went. I think they went 2-1.
They did.
This
yep.
past weekend. They may have lost to North Dakota. Does that sound right?
North Dakota State.
North Dakota State,
Yeah.
Who's got a good team. But their best middle has been with the Canadian national team in the Volleyball Nations League, trying to qualify for the Olympics or whatever they're doing with that VNL. But we expect her to be here. I think she's on a jet plane right now,
Okay.
probably going directly to Chicago to take one of those new United. Is it United that comes out of?
Yeah.
Or airport or not?
Not sure. I can't.
I don't want to do any
schedule
false
any
advertising.
vacations, so.
No fake news on this show, but I got a feeling when we play Bowling Green on Thursday, their big middle, her name is Andrews. She'll be in the lineup, but they're a good team. They'll scrap, they'll claw, and we play them on Thursday. And then I think on Friday, Kansas, despite their record, I think are they 1-3?
They're 1-3.
They're 1-3, but they've lost in 5 sets to Wisconsin, Penn State, and Creighton, who are all, I think, top 10 teams, and they could have won any of those matches. So Matt Ulmer, former coach at Oregon, left Oregon, went to Kansas, brought a player or two with him from Oregon, including a setter, a libero from Oregon State, transferred, really, really good. Went over to Europe, found 2 tremendous freshmen, a right side and a left side. So it's kind of a new operation for him. So we're kind of in a similar boat as far as having lots of new players. We don't have a lot of international flair. We kind of stuck with things right here with the red, white, and blue as far as that's concerned. But they will be a handful. I think their right side player is 6'7".
Yeah.
And so the left that they brought in from over there, I think she might be Serbian, but I can't recall. Might be Italian.
Their left, I believe, is Slovenian.
Slovenia. Okay. Yeah, beautiful. I love Slovenia. But they'll be really, really good too. So it's going to be back to back to back. Really good teams, and again, that's where the maturity, comes through. Can you be ready to play every time that you step on the floor?
Turn the page very quickly for match 1, and then to match 2. All 3 matches the Boilermakers are in are slated for 7:00 starts. If you can't get to Holloway Gym or haven't secured yourself tickets yet, they'll all be carried on the Big Ten Plus streaming network, these rosters are really going to put our student announcers through their paces. That's for sure.
Yeah, as it should. That's what they're here. It's all a learning experience. Yep. But I know that the Friday match is sold out. That's a match with Kansas. Still, tickets are available. right now for Georgia Tech on Wednesday and Bowling Green on Thursday. I know those are school nights for people, but 7 o'clock start, and I think that our team, with what they've done during the off season and through this fall and the way we played down in Tennessee, is certainly worthy of our fans coming out and supporting this bunch.
I think so. Can't wait to finally see them back here in West Lafayette in front of a home crowd. I'm sure some of the Purdue rookies are looking forward to that full complement of the block party in a full Holloway gym.
There's nothing like playing your first match in Holloway Gym. I remember back in 2003, and I did not know what to expect because crowds have been down a little bit over the past few years before our new staff got here. But we opened up against Mississippi State, and I could not believe the crowd that we had in there on that particular night. It's one of those moments that you'll never forget. And I know that we'll have them rocking in here on Wednesday with Georgia Tech. I mean, you're talking about two top 25 programs, two teams that are traditionally been in the Sweet 16 over the last several years. So that's going to be a real Jim Dandy. Volleyball is just crazy right now.
It really is.
Have you ever seen more volleyball on TV than you've seen in the past week?
That was a conversation we had in my house over the weekend.
Yeah,
actually,
it's a beautiful thing.
Yep.
And I think Nebraska's king tut right now as far as who the best team in the country is. But it's early, and Kentucky was up 2-0 on them.
It looked very good, too.
In the event we played in down in Nashville. And then I thought that Nebraska settled down a little bit, but Kentucky played great. They're a legitimate top 5 team right now. Penn State, who was ranked second going into the week, drops 2 matches. They lose to Arizona State, and then Arizona State yesterday, and then somebody beat them the 2 days before that. I can't remember who it was.
I don't have that right.
But they dropped 2, which was shocking to me with what they've got. But I know that Katie will learn from that, and it's just like us early in the season. And I told our team this before we played Tennessee. I said, all these matches have something to do with your resume that's going to help you get into the NCAA tournament. I said, but we're not going to be defined by one match, okay? We're going to stay together. Everybody in this room, I had all of my support staff there, the coaching staff, right before the match. I said, this is who we are. We're going to stay together. And win or lose, we're going to stay together. But every match is going to dictate how far we go with things. But it's going to be a great year for college volleyball.
Already off to a great start as a sport, and we can't wait to see some of it in person starting Wednesday night, 7 o'clock against Georgia Tech. Coach mentioned his first ever match at Holloway Gym against Mississippi State, not to be overlooked, a 4-set win for the Boilermakers.
Yeah, we did win it.
All the way back then.
We did win it.
So,
but this will be a great week, and again, I know everybody has a lot going on, but I hope that you'll consider coming out to watch this team, because when this is over, really about 21% of our home matches are done.
It really goes quick.
And it goes really fast. We won't be back until we play IU Indy.
IU Indy.
That last Sunday before Big Ten season, and then you've just got 10 matches left of the Big Ten play. 3 of those to be in Mackey Arena.
Yep. Well, get out there, support your Boilermakers, and
hey, great win for a football team.
Boy, it was a lot of fun.
Coach Barry Odom. I told people how organized that guy is, and I watched their practices, and it's a lot different than what I was used to seeing out there, and that I thought paid off against my Ball State Cardinals. Of course, I'm an alumni of the Ball State University. I was kind of pulling for both teams to play well. But I was pleased that our squad got off to a great start. They've got Southern Illinois here on Saturday.
Night.
I'll be able to get over and watch that one. So they're off to a good start, which is always great.
Best part about your Wednesday, Thursday, Friday schedule is you can go.
You're open. We're open on Saturday.
Yep,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be right back here next week to talk about the Stacey Clark Classic and look ahead.
Well, and this is their only means of really getting the inside skinny, because there's no press conferences here.
There's not,
which
unfortunately.
I'm still trying to figure that one out.
Yeah.
But no press conferences this year, so they want to get the dope on what's going on. Dope in a positive sense of the word,
right.
of course.
Yep.
Then they've got to come in here and tune into Dig City.
Love it.
Yeah.
We'll keep bringing you the straight dope right here on Dig City.
Yep.
Good luck this week, Coach.
Okay, thank you.